Hey, it's Big Game James McCarty, Sports Director at Flag Family Media, here with Dragon Women's Basketball Head Coach Karla Nelson. Coach, your final regular season road trip this weekend. At this point of the season, how is the team reacting to those road trips, and how accustomed are they to being able to play good basketball getting off of a bus after a long road trip?
You know, I think it's just a matter of them understanding this is how we travel and them preparing themselves the best they can to make that trip. So for the most part, I think we've done a good job, and we're going to need to keep doing that because that's what we're doing this weekend.
You have cracks at Duluth and Concordia St. Paul, and both, Duluth trying to stay alive in conference standings, CSP trying to assert themselves as a team at the top of the league. What is the message that you're conveying to the team this week about trying to keep that competitive basketball, that successful basketball going?
Well, all we did was we brought back and watched those two games from early January, and if that didn't spark something in them as far as lack of competitiveness at that point, I don't think anything will, because as coaches, as we watched that, it was really difficult to watch. And fortunately, we feel like we're playing better basketball right now, but in turn, you still have to go out and compete.
And taking 6 of your last 7 games, having the Wednesday trip to Minot, but specifically Saturday, you were able to complete that season series sweep on the regular season against UMary. I know that was a team last year a lot of freshmen on the team struggled with. This year, as sophomores and juniors, you were able to survive that one with a victory. What type of confidence is that giving the team now as you hit the road this weekend, knowing that you can compete with some of those teams like UMary and you were able to beat them after a really wild 40-minute performance?
I think anytime you win, it doesn't matter who you beat. I think anytime you win, you should feel pretty good about your performance. In our league, in the NSIC, I think every team creates challenges, and when you can come out on top, you should be pretty happy. It doesn't matter who it is, and I think the goal is to keep striving to be better as a group yourself, and I think we're doing that right now. We have a few issues right now with some flu issues, and we'll have to see what happens here this weekend, but I still think we're playing pretty good basketball, and if somebody's out and we have to deal with that, I'm interested to see how we respond to some adversity, and maybe those games in early January and end of December, maybe they'll help us right now.
When you approach these last 2 weekends against some really tough competition, I hear a lot of coaches say at this point, once you approach postseason play, you don't have any freshmen anymore. Everybody's basically a year advanced at this point. So you're freshmen, your sophomores are juniors. And I'm just really curious as to your thought on the progression of specifically those underclassmen, the freshman class, the sophomore class. We've seen Safransky and Berge playing really well as of late. Fritz is making a big impact. You're seeing Kaylin Kelly also come in off the bench, and it just seems like they're bringing in some confidence and they're playing much better basketball than you would have seen pre-New Year.
Well, I'm glad you said that. First of all, I think Ashton is playing really good basketball. The only thing we probably need her to do a little bit better job of is being more vocal, taking more control of our team, and I do think that will come. Bergie's playing really good basketball. Taryn Johnson's playing really good basketball. I think Natalie Jens has kind of settled down after coming back, and we're kind of seeing that Natalie of old. And I think there's no question. I think the two people that really play the biggest impact for us right now will be Carly Fisher and Ashley Fritz. If they can find some consistent play, we're going to be really tough down the stretch here. But again, I think that they need to provide that for us. And they're still young; they're sophomores, but maybe in turn, maybe they're closer to being a junior now. That's up for debate, right? But I think they play a huge role in where we want to go. And the other person is Emily Shrema. I mean, she needs to be aggressive, more physical, and give us that presence at the 5 off the bench, because that's something that in games that we've lost, we've lacked.
In closing with you, you mentioned you went back, watched the film with the team on those 2 games. When you look at Duluth and Concordia, what needs to happen from the first meeting to this meeting for you guys to be successful this weekend?
Well, against Duluth, we actually have to show up and play. I didn't think we competed at all at any stretch during that contest. We did things that in 25 years of being a head coach, I've never seen us do before. And matter of fact, the whole weekend, which was really disappointing. And then CSP, they just toyed with us, and that's disappointing. There's no question CSP is a big challenge because they probably are the best team in our league. Very veteran, very athletic, very long, but doesn't mean you can't compete harder. And that whole weekend, I felt like we played mentally, physically weak, and as a head coach, it didn't look like we prepared at all. So I am a little bit testy this week. I guess I'm testy all the time. What am I saying? Never happy. You guys stop laughing. At least I have self-awareness, correct? But in turn, when I watched that, just really disappointing with how we competed, because I always feel like regardless if we win or lose, I think we always put a team out that competes, and that weekend we did not compete at all.
Well, we're gonna compete much better this week, and we're gonna compete in the broadcast booth. Team's gonna compete on the hardwood, and we're gonna be real competitive this weekend.
Well, yes, because you don't want to be around testy Coach Nelson, do you? So, but again, I have complete confidence in this group. I think that they've battled through adversity all year long, and I would expect them that to pay off for us here at the end of the season.
Awesome. Well, Coach, thanks for coming to your time. And I don't know, I need more caffeine. Maybe we smiled a little bit. I think that's a positive note. So good luck this weekend, and we'll catch you on Saturday.
Thanks, James.
I'm Big Game James McCarty alongside head coach Karla Nelson of the Dragon women's basketball team. Have a great rest of your day.